All right. Hope everyone's doing fantastic today. We are going to do live cold calls. I have three ladies here that want to jump on the phones and call some for sale by owners. We have a system in the Zoom room where they have earbuds in their ear, and that's connected to the Zoom so that I can speak directly into their ear, kind of like a Secret Service agent out in the field. They're going to have their phones on speaker so that we can hear both the prospect and the agent's conversation. And then I'll be coaching them live through the calls, giving them small course corrections and whatnot, if needed, to see if we can set some appointments today. So I hope you guys enjoy this. All right, ladies. Be sure that your phones are on speaker.
Yeah, that's what I am working on.
Awesome.
Connect my headphones to the computer.
So one at a time while we're waiting for people to answer the phone, what is the level of experience here with you three?
I got a listing um calling for sale by owners.
Nice.
So, but I am new. I mean, I'm still very nervous.
Okay. Stephanie, how long you been selling?
I've been licensed for 8 years, but was not practicing the entire 8 years, and I've virtually no experience calling for sell by owners. I've only
Nice.
called like just a few, and it was not pleasant, so it was something I just avoided.
Okay.
But I will say the very first expired I ever called when I was a new agent, I got that listing, so that was kind of
Nice.
cool.
Very cool. How about you, Lamati? How long have you been selling?
I have been licensed for about 9 months now.
Nice.
I haven't had any, I don't have any experience as far as with for sale by owners.
Okay.
And I'm trying to get into that for sale by owners and expireds.
Okay. So, guys, we're using our FISBO 5 non-negotiables within our FISBO conversation. So the first non-negotiable is going to be the opener. Good afternoon. My name's Shane. I'm a local real estate agent. And I see you have a property for sale by owner on Johnson Street. Is that right? Then there's going to be a bit of a conversation there. And then you'll drop in with, oh, okay, great. Well, I tell you what, are you open to the idea of a buyer's agent if the offer makes sense? And you want to be very clear here. You want to I don't have a buyer. If they come back to that question with, do you have a buyer? No, I don't have a buyer. Matter of fact, I specialize in hard to sell properties. So I spend a lot of my time working with expired properties where the other agent, when it was listed before, wasn't able to get it sold. I come in through my marketing and my techniques to get the sellers a big win, or for sale by owner properties highly similar to yours, where maybe through nothing more than just lack of exposure, maybe you guys aren't able to sell it. So I work with a lot of people in those two situations and come in and figure out a way to get them a big win. But the question is, if a buyer's agent showed up and they had a great offer for you, is that something you would consider? Right? So that's the second non-negotiable. The third non-negotiable, let's see, are we all dialing? Yes?
Yep.
Okay. So the third non-negotiable is okay, well, I'll tell you what, I'm going to shoot you over my resume. That way you can put a face to a voice. Right? I use a little bit of assumptive language here in asking for the resume without asking. I'm basically just telling them this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to send you over my resume. That way you can put a face to a voice. And FISBOs, for the most part, 9 out of 10 times will give you their email. Damn near 10 out of 10 times. So once you have the email, then I go, okay, great. Well, look, when I get off here, I'm going to send that right over to you so you can meet me on paper. But let me ask you this, and this is my next non-negotiable. Hypothetically, if the property doesn't sell in the next 30 or 45 days, at that point, are you going to look at other options to maybe get the property sold? When you pose it as a hypothetical and you put it out in the future like that, it makes people very comfortable in telling you what their plans are. So once they tell me what the plans are, and typically it's, yeah, we'll probably go 30 or 45 days, and then we'll start interviewing agents. Well, then I say, okay, great. Well, look, that makes perfect sense. I tell you what, though, I'm going to be in your neighborhood on Monday on another appointment. I always set it out 2 or 3 days. So I'll say, I'm going to be in your neighborhood anyway on Monday on another appointment. I'd love to stop by, meet you guys, drop off some paperwork to help you sell it on your own and get a quick look at the place. Fair enough. And the majority of these FSBOs will let you set that appointment. So really, to do this, you don't need.
Hello? Can you hear me? Oh, I'm calling about the property for sale in Buffalo Grove. Are you the owner? Hi, my name is Anka. I'm a real estate agent. It looks like you're selling by owner, right? Got it. Well, I absolutely respect that, and I think it's smart in this market. How is it going for you?
Actually, interestingly enough, I actually sold it 3 months ago, and the buyer just backed out this last week.
Oh no! Oh.
We had a substantial escrow deposit that they forfeited, though, so it's not that bad of an oh no.
Okay.
At the for sale sign just went out 2 days ago again.
I understand. Well, that's really, I mean, that contract got your hopes high, right? And then,
right. Yeah, and it's still fairly priced. There's nothing available. Again, where I think our pricing is not overstated. It's very fair for a home. So I don't anticipate an issue selling.
I understand. Did that buyer come through an agent or it was just a unrepresented person?
Unrepresented.
I understand.
And basically, again, we said that if the buyer wants to pay the agencies, that's fine. And they ended up paying something to her because they appreciated it.
I understand. But in the transaction, they were just you and them, and they did not have the agent with them, right?
That's correct.
I understand. Would you work with with an agent if they were to bring you a buyer?
No, only your compensation will only come to the buyer, not from us, the seller.
I understand. I understand. So I get that you don't want to work with any listing agent, right? And not to any buyer's agent either.
That's correct.
I understand. I can see here from the pictures that the house looks very nice and cozy. Did you do the upgrades yourself?
Basically, there's not too many upgrades. You know, we had minimal upgrades to the kitchen. We never replaced the cabinets, just countertops and flooring. And otherwise, besides a very beautiful hardwood entryway, the house is primarily urban.
I understand. Yeah, I can see, and it looks very nice and warm and cozy.
Right. People, it's interesting though. We only had 2 or 3 people look at the house when I initially listed it, and everyone loved it. I actually had 3 offers of the 4 people. So it does. Again, people sense the warmth, the care. We're original owners. We built it in 1988, so it's 35 years old. Very well kept.
Mm-hmm. No, I mean, you can tell from the pictures that it's very well maintained. You can see the love and care.
So what has you
So I
guys
think
wanting to leave this place?
You did a good job with the pictures.
Yeah, well, I'm glad I took the pictures because now the house is truly vacant. We've already moved on our town building.
Vacant. Are you guys still local, or did you move out of state?
It's up a vacant home.
I see. So you already moved to a new condominium. You said, right?
Actually, the final moving date is a week from today, 27th. That's the last pieces of furniture. Yes.
I see, I see. So you already purchased the condominium that you are moving into, and this house is vacant now, and you are trying to sell it, right?
Exactly.
I understand. Let me ask you this hypothetically, if the property wasn't selling in the next month or so, at that point, are you going to look at other options to maybe get it sold?
I guess we'd have to wait and see. We'll take it day by day. I saved over $40,000.
Okay, I tell you what, I'm going to send you over my resume. What's a good email for you?
So again, I'd rather that just they remodeled my entire kitchen of the new facility. So
I see. Yeah, let me do this. I'm going to send you over my resume so you can meet me on paper. What's the best email for you? Yeah, that's great. Here's what I'm thinking. I would love to stop by, meet with you, see the place, and drop off some paperwork that will help you sell on your own. I work with for sale by owners, basically. Would tomorrow morning perhaps be a good day for you? Okay. I understand. Makes sense. So if I do have, if I do happen to have a buyer for this property, I would have to negotiate my commission with them directly and not through you. Yes, that's the deal. Definitely. I think that's very smart, because unfortunately so many people who sell by owner, they let in all sorts of people without qualification. So I think it's really smart what you are doing. So you are on the right track. And I wish you the best. I will touch base with you a few weeks down the line then.
Very good. Nice talking.
Nice talking to you too. Thank you. Bye.
All right. So, Anka, we're going to play with the placement of your phone because we couldn't catch most of what he said. We could catch some of it.
Okay.
So we're going to play around with kind of where your phone is sitting in relation to your computer so that we can hear it a little bit better. But that was a great call, right? That guy wasn't willing. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
He was also speaking in a very low tone. So that might be. I mean, my phone is right here in front of me, but he had a very low voice and
well, what I like
my
about
volume
that,
is at maximum.
Yeah, no, absolutely. You got his email address, right?
I
And it
did.
doesn't matter. It doesn't matter that he's not willing to work with a buyer's agent at this moment. It just means he's going to sit in your funnel longer than somebody who is willing to work with a buyer's agent right this moment because he has further to come, right? Like he's not willing to pay half a commission right now. He's not willing to pay any commission. And so he just has further to come to get to the listing side of things. However, you got an email from him. Send that resume over right away so that he sees it pop in his mailbox like right after the call. And then he's going to go in your follow-up plan, right? You might not call him this Monday because it is kind of close. Call him next Monday. I love how you attempted to set the appointment. Anyway, you kind of left it open a little too much with would tomorrow be okay? Try out hey, I'm going to be in your neighborhood on another appointment anyway tomorrow. And that appointment's at 2. I could do before that. I'd love to come by and meet you before that or even after that appointment, whatever works better for you. But from 2 to 3, I'm going to be booked. Right. And then see what happens. But that was great.
Yeah, that was good. So from what I hear, there was a buyer.
Yes, he was under contract with, they backed out, but they put a large amount of earnest money, which the seller kept. And he didn't give the reasoning why they backed out from the deal. I mean, he did give some, but I did not focus on it to ask more questions. And now it's back on the market for the past 2 days. So it's just fresh back on the market.
So he's probably upset. He's really burned. That's why he's saying that he doesn't want to pay the commission.
Right.
Well,
And
also prior, he did not pay commission. The buyer ditched their agent and they worked directly with the seller.
Oh, wow. So the buyer had an agent and then okay.
Well,
was
he
good.
said that the buyer compensated their agent, whatever. We don't care about that part.
Right.
And that they worked without an agent in between. So
Okay.
they worked direct.
Right.
But that was good. You got his email.
That was a good
Yeah,
call.
But here's a
It was a
question.
really good call.
Yeah, it was, gosh.
Wow. Okay. Thank you. I mean, I was
It was a
nervous for
good.
sure.
You did flow good. It was a good flow.
Yeah, it was.
Well, I have Shane's script here in front of me, so I had the flow, right? But here's my question, because I was not sure, Shane, whether to ask for the appointment or if I had sufficient information by then to think, okay, this is not going to be a meeting. They're going to go in my follow-up system.
So,
You know what I'm
yeah, the only time I don't ask for the appointment is if I get what I call my militant FSBOs, right? So that's somebody that not just necessarily says, I'm not going to pay any commission, but is ignorant about it, right? I'm not paying any commission to any real estate agent. It's buyers only, right? If I get one of those people, I try to still get an email from them, but I don't set an appointment. That's one of the 2 out of the 10 that don't get an appointment set on the first call. However, they're going to go into my follow-up plan. Now, with the militant FSBOs, I'll wait probably 30 days to call them the next time, maybe 3 weeks. And then I'll try my Jedi mind trick out on them. I'll say, Mr. Johnson, yeah, hey, this is Shane. I'm that local real estate agent that talked to you a couple of weeks ago, man. Really enjoyed our conversation then. Wanted to see how things are going with your for sale by owner over there, right? They're not going to remember the conversation from 3 weeks ago, but if you trick them into thinking that you guys had a great connection back then, a lot of times the second phone call is smooth as butter, right? And then they can go from your monthly follow-up folder into your every week follow-up folder. And after about the second or third call, then you can set an appointment to get in front of them. Was this guy local or was he out of state? Did he move out of state or did he stay somewhere local?
Local.
Okay.
I mean, he mentioned a different suburb where he bought the condominium, and
right.
Yeah, it was local.
So at the bottom of your data sheet, put the first Monday in November for the first follow-up call with him. We're not going to call him this Monday. So a week and 3 days from now. Right? Okay. That's going to be your first follow-up call. Now, remember, on your first, maybe even first and second follow-up call, you aren't going to try to set an appointment. But, hold on just a second, I'm sorry. But on your third follow-up call with him, you're going to be like, you know what? I can't believe we haven't met yet. When are you going to be back over there? I want to come over and meet you, drop some paperwork off to help you in the process and get a look at the place. By the time you've had 3 or 4 conversations with this guy, he's going to be much more comfortable discussing like you coming over and meeting him.
Yeah, assuming there was a conversation and not just a voicemail, right?
Correct. Now, if there's just voicemails, you're going to leave a voicemail until you get them on the phone, right? Before I do my follow-up call with these FSBOs, I have Zillow up and I always punch their address in to see if it's still showing active or if it's showing pending or if it's showing off the market, right? Because my conversation may be completely different on a FSBO that's now no longer on Zillow than it would be if it's just still sitting there doing its thing. So I think you did perfect.
Pending.
Yeah, I think you did perfect. You should have asked for the appointment, which you did. And you didn't get it, which is fine. You still shot your shot. I'm assuming he said, because you really cut out at that point, I'm assuming he said, if you had a buyer to bring by, I could do that, but I'm not doing it.
No. He said he's not willing to work with agents at all right now, not even with a buyer's agent. Because that's why I reinforce. So you're saying that if I have a buyer, I can bring him, but I have to negotiate my own commission with them. And he said, yes, we are not willing to.
So how is he going to get this home sold? He's not.
Okay. He's not.
That's what I'm saying. He's not going to get it sold.
So we are going to be his friend until the pain has reached the level, because now he's paying 2 mortgages.
Right.
He's paying 2 power bills. He's paying if
two
this is
water bills.
Right. Everything is doubled now, and it's sitting there vacant, not making him any money and causing him pain. He's already had one contract that fell out. If he gets one more contract and it falls out, it's a done deal. He's going to list with somebody. Right? So great call.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right. Well, let's get the phones going again, and let's get another one on.
My headphones are not working. I'm not sure, so I don't know what to do. So
okay.
I'll just listen for now because my headphones are not. Because I just try to connect them and they're not connecting. I don't know why.
So let's do this for you. If somebody picks up the phone for you, the rest of us will stay silent, and I'll converse with you via the messenger, the chat feature. Okay.
Okay.
To give you some directions if I can type fast enough.
Okay.
In the meantime, I'm gonna send the resume.
Send that resume over to him. So. That's right.
Yeah.
Get him familiar with you. Plus, you can add him to your database. If you're sending out a weekly market update, he'll get a
I'm
Monday
working
touch.
on it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm working on that weekly.
So, do you guys use that Constant Contact?
I do for 3 years now.
Okay. Because I was thinking about that just to be more consistent with it. And does it send it out automatically?
No.
When you set it?
Nope. I create it every Wednesday. I sit down, it takes me about 20 minutes, and it goes out to almost 1,000 prospects.
Okay.
So
yeah, because I was thinking about doing that just to be more consistent.
I can help you guys with that. So if you end up signing up for Constant Contacts and want to come in and want to learn how to create the template and where to get the data and all that stuff, we can sit down on a Zoom and do a screen share, and I can help you set up your first campaign. And then all you're going to do each week is you're going to copy last week's campaign over to a new folder, and then you'll make the changes to it that you want to make, which is typically changing out that primary photo and then changing out some of the data points, typing in something personal from your last week or whatever the case may be. But it literally takes me 20 minutes each week. And then it goes out again. But you don't have to recreate the world because you're just copying last week's over for the template, and then you keep it going.
Okay. Because I signed up for the free trial, but I think the free trial ended.
Okay.
So I'll have to just call them and sign up for the for the other one. And then that definitely, yes.
Yep. And it simplifies things.
I have to work on the newsletter anyway. So if we do the call, Shane, I'm up for it. Like
yeah, me too.
Today I have to. I mean, I've been postponing it for a couple of days, and I really have to get it going.
I know I've been postponing. I'm horrible with that. Just yeah.
All right, so let's get another one on the phone.
Okay.
Stephanie, are you still with us, or did you step away?
I'm here.
Okay.
I'm just looking at the text assessor, procrastinating because I'm nervous.
Don't procrastinate. Pick the phone up and dial it. You'll be fine. You got this.
Nothing compares with just doing it. And I agree with you, Shane, on role playing. That's a way of procrastination, I find.
It is. No question. And I know a lot of people, I mean, this might not be the popular answer because a lot of people are huge fans of role playing and getting into big groups. And to me, it's not real. It's fake. And so it doesn't stick in anything long-term because it's just surface level stuff. So
yeah. And honestly, I've met agents who've been role playing for a year, but still do not want to make the live calls.
Right. Yep. All right. While y'all are dialing, and I'll quiet up if you end up getting somebody on the line. But I want to go over my daily plan for going after these FSBOs. So when you get a brand new FSBO in your market. All right, here we go.
Can I ask something?
Let's see if this person picks the phone up that Google Voice is connecting.
Oh, the Google Voice. Okay, okay.
Hi, this is Stephanie. I'm a local realtor here in Hinesville. I see you have a property on Hill Avenue for sale. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am, that's correct.
Okay, great. How's it been going for you?
Well, we're probably about to list it. I mean, we've owned it a lot.
Quite a few showings and no offers.
Yeah, interest rates, I think, are, hurting us right now. And we just had a sign in the yard. We put it on Zillow, but it hadn't really been on there that long. And I think we're probably going to list it and see how that goes.
Do you already have an agent in mind to list it with?
Oh gosh, we talked to so many people. My niece is a realtor. We'll probably give us a shot at it.
I would love to fill out an application for that position. Who would I drop that off to?
I gotcha. Well, I would love to fill out an application and drop off my resume if you're considering interviewing.
You send me your, you have, you can send that to me if you want to. It's like picture of screen.
I can.
Maybe don't let my niece do it.
Absolutely.
Is she a realtor here in the Savannah area?
She is.
Okay, I got you.
Something that it's with right now. I think this is saying I'm wrong about that. Then which place.
Well, yeah, I'd love to shoot you over my resume. What's the best email I could send that to?
Now we're going to go for an appointment. So you're going to say, okay, great. Now look, I'm going to be in your area anyway on Monday.
Well, look, I'm be in the area on Monday for another appointment. I'd love to just stop by and take a look at the place and meet you guys and drop off some paperwork if that's okay. Are you still in Richmond Hills?
I do. I'm not too far from these locations.
Okay.
I'd have to look right now. I don't think I have anything, but I'm just right now.
Okay, I'll tell you what. How about I pencil you in for 4 o'clock?
Text me, but maybe a time.
Let me do this. I'll pencil you in.
Can I just pencil you in for 4 o'clock? And if something changes, we can just reschedule it. But just so we have it on the calendar.
Sure.
All right, and I'll reach out to you Sunday as well, just to verify that still works for you.
Okay.
Okay. Well, great. And what was your name? I'm sorry.
Sherry.
All right, Sherry. Well, thank you so much for taking my call, and I'll shoot over my resume here shortly, and I will shoot you a text on Sunday just to confirm our appointment.
Okay.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Oh.
All right, Stephanie, we need to see your face now because you just set an appointment on your first call.
I'm like so
That
ready.
was fantastic.
It felt kind of like a jackaloon a little bit though, because like repeatedly she's like, "Oh, I want to give it to my niece. I want to give it to my niece." And
However,
I was still like, "Oh, let me send you stuff. Let me come over." Like,
however, here's the thing, right? She wants to give it to her niece, but she's not confident her niece can get the job done. If she was confident her niece could get the job done, she would not set an appointment with you. She would not give you her email so that you could send over your resume and whatnot. She is absolutely taking applications for this job, and you have as good a shot as anybody. And you just happen to catch somebody that's ready to list their house right now.
yeah, it's been on Zillow for like 3.5 months. And
okay, so she's
There you
yeah,
go.
okay.
What a fantastic call.
I'm like shaking.
Don't be. You set an appointment on your very first call on here. That's awesome.
Thank you. Thank you.
How was the process of me talking to you while you were listening to her? I know that's a bit disconcerting.
No, I thought it was actually really good. Luckily I have like your script right here with highlights and stuff. So I was able to kind of stay on track, but it was helpful to have you like in my ear helping me with the next thought because I do go blank when I'm nervous.
Nice
Could you
job.
hear it okay on your end?
Yeah. We could hear most of that pretty clearly.
Yeah.
So that was good. And now you have it. So now send the resume over immediately though. So that she's getting that and she can start pouring through it. And then keep something in mind.
Can I actually send you my resume to get your feedback on it? Because I think it kind of sucks, but I just threw something together and I would like your feedback.
So my issue is if I get, for example, if I'm trying to set the appointment because my car right now is down and I don't have a means of transportation right now.
Okay.
So if I set an appointment, I don't even know how I would, go.
Girl, call it Uber.
Uber that thing. That's what I was about to say. I mean,
I have kids that I don't know. That's what I'm saying.
Make it work. You know what I'm saying? Like somehow get it across the finish line. So, or call a family member or something. Say, hey, I need a ride. I've got an appointment for real estate. I need a ride out to their house. Because if you can't go on appointments, like then you can't do showings, you can't go to listing appointments, you're dead in the water. So get creative if need be. Somebody from church say, hey, look, can I pay you to chauffeur me around for a day? I'm gonna set 2 or 3 appointments for one day, and I'll hook you up if you can chauffeur me around, whatever.
Okay.
Stephanie, that was good.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the best thing was, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I was saying yours was an older feasible too, right? But then they came back on the market.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. I was gonna say, Stephanie, that to me this is so encouraging because even if you sounded a little bit nervous, and I am always nervous, you went through with it and you got the appointment, so it's so encouraging that it doesn't really matter how we feel. What matters is just to do it, just do the action.
Right.
Yeah, I'm hoping, I think was Ricky or you, Shane, I don't remember, but one of you had I think it was you, one of you had a rebuttal of the interest rates and you're like, well, yeah, they are holding it back, but people have to sell and buy whether they like it or not. And out of the 1,000 homes that came on the market last month, 650 of them went under contract within the first week. So people are indeed buying homes.
Yep. The key factor here is
I think I want to play that angle.
Yeah.
I think that was you, Shane. I saw it on, I think I saw that.
Yeah.
I saw that one. So, yeah.
Yep. It sure was. And it's true because see, quite frequently what agents will do is somebody will hit them with, I don't want to call it an objection, but they'll hit them with a fact as they believe it in the market. Like, oh, well, back in 2021, the thing was, well, I'd love to sell now because there's so much equity built up in my home, but then what am I going to buy? Right. And I would hear agents all the time, especially in the Zoom room, that would say, yeah, you sell high, then you got to buy high and you're really at a net zero. So yeah, I totally get it. And I'd go, no, don't buy into they're asking that question of you because you're the expert in the market. Right. And if your answer to their question is it's hopeless, right? It's never hopeless. We can always buy and sell houses, whether you're the consumer or whether you're the real estate agent. You can always buy and sell houses, and you are always stuck in the market that you're currently in. So if the market is down, right, well, then you're going to be selling and buying in a down market. If the market is up, you're going to be selling and buying in an up market. So that's never the issue. Right now they're saying, well, interest rates are up. Well, yeah, I get it. Interest rates are up. Now I could just say, yeah, you're right. There's no hope in you getting a house with the interest rates up. Or you could say, hey, yeah, the interest rates are up, which means there are fewer transactions occurring. However, I do a market breakdown every week. And this week we had 1,077 new homes hit the market, 602 went under contract in the first 7 days, right? Because we're in this position where there's no inventory, right? And with there being no inventory, we're going to continue selling houses because there's a certain amount of people that have to buy or sell. They're moving, they're getting transferred, whatever the case may be. So we can always buy and sell.
Do you ever, and that obviously I know we're really big on giving attaboys and not bringing any like negativity, but do you ever have like a rebuttal for people who want to only like work with their family, or, you know, which is from my experience, working with family sucks. Like
Right.
it was
None.
the worst.
None.
They have no respect for boundaries. A
Right.
lot of bad blood can happen. And do you ever try to
So I've got a
express
listing.
that in a gentle way?
I've got a listing that's closing Monday, right? When I called 2 months ago and I spoke with the lady, she said, well, you know, when I got down to the part where I said, hypothetically, if the property doesn't sell in the next, 30, 45 days, at that point, are you going to look at other options? And she goes, well, my daughter is a real estate agent. So if I ever get to the point where I'm going to sell the house, like with an agent, I would use her. And I said, hey, makes perfect sense. Well, look, I want to send you over my resume so you can meet me on paper. I went right on with the script, right? I didn't set an appointment because her daughter is a real estate agent. Chances are I'm not getting that listing. But I went on with it anyway. I sent her over my resume. 3 weeks later, she called me up. And I looked down at my phone. I've got her locked in, so I know who's calling me. So I said, hey, Margie, how you doing? She goes, doing good, Shane. She said, hey, we're ready to go ahead and list. When can you come out and meet Billy and get photos of the place?
Today.
And I knew she had a daughter that was in real estate, but I didn't say anything on the phone. I said, I can be out there tomorrow if that works for you, and we can get the photos done. I can get it up on the market by the end of the day tomorrow, and we'll find you a buyer. And she said, yeah, sounds good. So when I went out to do the photos, I sent her over all the listing paperwork, got it signed. When I went over to do the photos the next day, I asked her husband, Billy, I said, hey, what happened? I thought your daughter was going to list this. And he goes, yeah, well, we asked her, but she's in a different MLS, like 2 counties over. And she recommended that it would be better for us to get a local agent to take care of us because, that local agent has local contacts. And so I say all that to say, when they have that family connection or whatever, a couple of things might be happening here. One of those things might be that they're just telling you that with the hopes that you don't hard sell them, right? Because they don't want the salesperson to come out in you and then you to try to beat them over the head with the let me list it stick. Or maybe their family member doesn't want to list it or can't list it for whatever reason. So don't stress out too much.
That's why I asked if she was local to Savannah. I was hoping she was going to say she was in Statesboro or somewhere far away.
Exactly. But that might not necessarily mean anything at all. So you just carry on just like you are. Do your follow-up calls with them just like you would be. Her, you've got an appointment. So you'll go meet her and do your thing. And then, the following week, if she doesn't hire you on the spot, the following week, you'll pull up Zillow, you'll look at her listing, right? If it still shows for sale by owner and available, then you'll do your first follow-up call. And you'll do follow-up calls until she either lists with her daughter or takes it off. Okay. Or sells it.
So what does that appointment even look like? Is it because usually you drop off stuff to help them sell as the first sell by owner, but she's ready to just get it listed. So outside of market reports and just showing her that people are indeed buying and it is still a hot market, what else?
So it's going to not be a preview appointment. It's going to be a listing appointment. And you're going to go in there with your, marketing material and some examples of what you've done in the past with your photography and, whatever, a couple of your stats. You're going to go in, you're going to walk around the house. You're going to ooh and ah at all the right moments. And then when you sit down, you're going to go, you have been through my preview training video, right? All right. When we end this video, I have to help Amanda here with an application, and then I'll play that video for you ladies, since now you have an appointment that you're going to be going to. And you'll see, we want to separate ourselves from the other agents out there, right? I can beat out family members with the right approach at the appointment. By doing things that nobody else is doing, explaining things to them in a fashion that nobody else is explaining them. Make sense?
Yep.
All right, Lamati, it's your turn. Let's get a person on the line.
All right.
I'm dying to hear you on the phone. Amanda, give me just a minute. We're doing, and you're more than welcome to stay and watch, but we're doing a YouTube video cold calling session, like a cold call coaching session. So Anka has already gotten a person on the phone, got an email, made a good connection. And Stephanie got a person on the phone who's ready to list their house, a FSBO, who's ready to list their house and set an appointment for Monday. So now it's Lumati's turn to just get like a straight up listing over the phone, because it looks like we're stepping up.
All right. Let's try to
Go
get
Lumati.
Okay. So let's try to get this person on here.
Are y'all having fun?
I am.
Yeah.
Good.
Now, if they don't answer, do you leave a voicemail or just move on to the next one?
So if they don't answer, go to the tax record right quick, if their voicemail doesn't say their name, go to the tax record, pull the tax card, pick one of the first names on there, send them a text message with their first name and a question mark.
Okay.
Now, then when you hang your phone up from that text message, lock their contact in, first name, FSBO, and the street name. That's the whole name that's going to come up on the contact if they call you back. That way, when they call you back, you can look down and go, okay, John FSBO Smith Street. So you say, hey, John, how you doing? And they'll say, doing okay. You called me a little bit ago. Yeah, I saw you had a for sale by owner property over on Smith Street. Wanted to reach out. Is that one you're selling by owner? Right? You can land right in the script without that awkward moment at the beginning of the call.
Okay. All right.
Now, while she's dialing, this is the way my calls go for FSBOs. Let's say I find a FSBO. It's the first time I'm going to call them, and I'm calling them at 9 o'clock in the morning. If they don't answer the phone, I don't leave them a voicemail. I'll send them I'll call. If their answer machine picks up, then I hang up, and then I'll send them a text message, first name, question mark. A lot of times that right there will encourage them to reach back out via text or call. If they don't answer the first call or the text message at 9 o'clock, I call them again at noon. Now at noon, this is the second time calling. So I will leave a voicemail at noon. And that voicemail is real simple. Good afternoon. My name's Shane. I'm calling about your property on Smith Street. Give me a call at, and my number. I don't identify myself as a real estate agent on the voicemail, but I'm also not telling anything that's not true. I tell them my first name, their street name.
Can I help you?
Yeah, good afternoon. Hello. Yes, my name is Lamati. I'm a local real estate agent. Calling in regards to the property on Robin Drive in Mainville.
Yes, I'm not dealing with any real estate agents. I've had about 70 calls. So.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry about that. Okay. All right. Yeah. All right. Thank you. Bye.
Okay, so that's something that comes up pretty frequently. When they say, I'm not dealing with any real estate agents, immediately on the tail of that, expect that on every call. Yeah. And what I want you to do on the tail of that, say, well, what if that buyer's agent had a buyer that was willing to pay the commission and it didn't come out of your pocket? Would you deal with an agent then? Or you're just not willing to deal with any agents ever, right? Most of the time, you can salvage the call then and get them over that hump of not even wanting to have a conversation with you. It sounded like she was at work, though, or no?
Yeah, that's what it sounded like. Because it's yes, so it's been on the market for 63 days. I mean, on Zillow for 63 days.
So do this. If you have a data sheet in front of you, I don't know if you printed some of those.
I did.
Okay, so on your data sheet, I want you to write down. And what state are you in again, Lamati?
Ohio.
Ohio. So what time is it there? 2 or 1?
It is 2.
2 o'clock. So write down on the data sheet 217 called at work.
Okay.
Now your next call to her is gonna probably be I would put her in your Monday follow-up and just put on your sheet, no conversation, right? Called at work,
Okay.
no conversation, not willing to work with any agent, so that you kind of have a basis for where the conversation is going to go. Now, Monday, when you reach back out to her, I want you to call her at, say, 5:30.
5:30
At
p.m.
work, what kind of, was it like a doctor's office or something?
It sounded like it,
Right.
like a nurse or something. Yeah.
So maybe she's off at 5:30. We're going to play around with the times because you want to have a conversation with her. You want to have her comfortable. She was at work. She couldn't talk to you. So it was quick off the phone.
Yeah.
But you still want to have the opportunity to say, hey, look, every once in a while a buyer comes along that's willing to pay their own commission. Would you work with the buyer's agent in that respect? I know you're getting a lot of calls from agents. I'm just trying to, feel out where you are.
Yeah.
Right. And then you can slide right into the rest of the FISBO conversation from that point. Once she says yes, because it's an obvious yes answer to that question. Once she says yes, go, okay, great. Can I ask you a couple of questions about the house? And then you just slide right into the FISBO conversation as I have it written. So not bad. So let's get another one on the phone, though, because that one really doesn't qualify as an in-depth conversation.
Okay, let's find this one.
And I also sent you my resume, just so you know.
Awesome. I will check it out as soon as we get off of here and I stop this recording.
And Shane, while Lumadi is dialing, in that situation where the person said that they have a daughter who is a realtor, and you did not set up the appointment, you just got their email, did you follow up with them, or you just assume that they're gonna do their thing?
Every Monday
did they
follow-up
call you? Okay, so you still followed up.
Every Monday. See, these FISBOs, you can't take what they say at face value. A lot of them are saying these things to you because they're just trying to avoid you trying to hard sell them. And so when they say, my husband's a real estate agent, my dad's a real estate agent, my cousin's a real estate agent, maybe so. Maybe sure. Okay. I'll stay in touch with you. If you have any questions for me, I'd be more than happy to answer them for you. And then you just keep them on moving and keep them in the follow-up game because you never know.
Your call has been forwarded to an automated voice messaging system.
Jeff Nichols
Is not available. Tone, please record your message. When you finish recording, you may hang.
Okay. They didn't answer. Should I have left a voicemail?
No. First question mark.
I think it said Shane. I don't remember his.
That's okay. Just write his or keep his sheet off to the side or whatever, and then go back and text him once we're done here.
Okay. So you do a sheet for everybody that you talk to?
Yep. And I'll lock everybody in my phone as John FISBO and then their street name.
Okay.
I feel like I should do a sheet. Like I put them in my CRM, but I feel like if it's a sheet of paper with my handwriting on it, it would be much more memorable than if it's an informal CRM.
It is. It's much more memorable. And see, I've got my folder system is here. It's actual manila folders. And so if I've got somebody on my once a month follow-up calls, and then we have a great conversation the first of this month, well, then I can take that page out of that folder and slide it into my once a week follow-up call folder. Or if they end up listing with an agent, I can slide it into my not interested folder, which I follow up with them every 6 months. It's just like I'm a pen and paper guy. I just am.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
All right. Let's get one more in.
Yeah, I'll try one more. Okay. All right.
You guys are doing great, by the way.
Thank you.
I've tried to do my rhythm for the first day a couple times. Let's see if I can get it out before somebody answers. So 9 a.m., first call, no answer. You're going to not leave a voicemail. You'll send a text, first name, question mark. If they don't respond to those two things at noon, you're going to call them again. If they don't answer, you're going to leave a voicemail. Good afternoon. This is Shane. I'm calling about your property on Johnson Street. Give me a call at, and you leave your number. If they
Yes, hi. Good afternoon. This is Lynatti. I'm a local real estate agent. See that you have your house on sale for okay.
Did she hang up?
Yeah.
Okay. Call back.
Call back.
Yeah. Say, hey,
Okay.
sorry. It was probably on my end that we got disconnected. Hey, do you have a for sale by owner house over on Johnson Street or whatever the street?
Call has been forwarded to voicemail. The person you're trying to
Hang up. Put her in your daily follow-up, your daily callback folder. You want to call again tomorrow, but at a different time. The first call was at 2:24.
Okay.
You didn't get a conversation. So now tomorrow's call is going to be maybe 9 o'clock in the morning, 9, 10 o'clock in the morning or whatever. But
Okay.
you're going to play with the times until you get them where they can actually have a conversation with you. So now,
how many?
go ahead.
So you have a daily follow-up, then you have a weekly follow-up folder.
And a monthly follow-up folder and an
Okay.
appointment folder and a listed with you folder. So back to the flow for day one. If they don't answer that first call at 9 o'clock and they don't answer the call at noon, right, or the voicemail at noon or the text message in the morning, well, then I call them again at 5 o'clock in the evening. If they don't answer at 5 o'clock in the evening, I do the exact same thing. I say, good evening. My name's Shane. I'm calling about your property on Johnson Street. When you have a minute, give me a call and then my number. Right. So now on day one, I've called them 3 times. I've left them 2 voicemails and 1 text message. They are for sale by owner. They're trying to actively sell their house. They have to answer the phone eventually. Right now, if they don't answer the phone on day one in any of those 6 ways that I have communicated with them, then I call them once a day for 10 days. On the side of that data sheet where you see all those follow-up, that's all of those calls where I'm trying to get them to answer the phone. And I do it at all different times, kind of like we just discussed. You called her today at 2:25. She hung up immediately. Tomorrow, you maybe try 10 o'clock in the morning, 9 o'clock in the morning, 6 o'clock at night, whatever the case may be. You're going to mix up your times trying to find that sweet spot where you can actually have a conversation with that person. And you're going to do it 10 days in a row until you have a satisfactory conversation.
Do you leave voicemails the next days or no?
Every time. Exact same voicemail every time I call. The first time I call is the only time that I don't leave a voicemail, and I do that text message with their first name.
Yeah, I mean, after so many attempts, they should give you a call back.
They should.
Do you ever have a FISBO that never calls back after all of these attempts?
No. I always end up getting them on the phone somehow. I mean, I had one where on the initial call, it was a lady, and she said, yeah, that's my father's property. I just put it on Zillow for him. I said, great. I'm a local real estate agent. I'd love to chat with him. Can you give him my number? She goes, sure. So I put her in my Monday follow-up folder, waiting for him to call me back. He didn't call me back. So the next Monday I called, I got her voicemail. Monday after that, I called, I got her voicemail and didn't get any calls back. So it went like that for 6 weeks. And every time I'd look, it's still on Zillow. He still hadn't sold it. He still hadn't called me back. She still isn't answering my phones. So at the 6-week mark, I said, this is it. I'm talking to this guy. So I pulled the tax record. I got his name and then went to Forewarn and got his phone number and called him, listed the home 3 days later.
How was Forewarn? I've heard about it, but I don't have any
Forewarn is a
experience.
board. In most places, Forewarn is a board provided app. It's great for ladies like yourselves because it does criminal histories and bankruptcies and that kind of stuff. So if you get a call from some guy who says, I want to set up a showing at whatever house, and you get the hairs on the back of your neck telling you something might not be right with this guy. You've never met him before, and there's just something off about it. You can plug his phone number into Forewarn, look him up, and see if he's ever been convicted of anything or if he's got any bankruptcies or foreclosures. It's happened twice to my knowledge, just people that I've had these conversations with where they got a little weird feeling about somebody, looked them up, and they were a convicted sexual predator. So you never know.
Is Forewarn a separate app that we're using, or is it part like in the MLS app?
So no, it's a separate app. You have to call your board and ask them if it's a board provided app. If it is, they have to set you up with the login credentials.
Okay, yeah, because we just got Forewarn, but our brokerage just shares my broker's MLS, and so it's going to be under her name. So I just didn't know if we just log in under her name and
which is fine. I mean,
apps.
Right. Just getting in the system is what you need so that you can look these things up. All right, Lamati, we're going to give you just a couple more minutes to try and get one more on the line, and then I'm going to split off with Amanda here and get her application done. Let's see if we can get one more, though, before we do.
Okay.
And don't get discouraged. You're dealing with the oldest of the FSBOs here. They are the most difficult to get on the phone. They're the most difficult to get into a healthy conversation because of just what she said. 70 agents have already called me, or somebody said, Stephanie, your lady, or no, yours, right?
Yeah, she said a lot of agents, close to 70 had called her.
With that's what you're going to get on a lot of these older ones. So don't let that discourage you. Our goal with these older ones is to get into the rhythm of how to make these calls, how to have these conversations, that kind of thing, without any pressure, because chances are these aren't going to convert.
So they are the most stubborn people.
They are the most stubborn. They're the most difficult ones. Yep.
There's this other one I'm looking at. I looked at the price history. They listed it in July for $450, and then 3 days later changed it to 1.5 million.
What?
What?
Yeah, they're just being funny. They aren't serious.
Yeah, I don't understand the pricing. It's 1957 on 1 acre.
Right.
Yeah. But I guess it's zoned commercial and residential, so maybe there's like a business or something. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe so. All right. The anticipation of waiting for somebody to pick the phone up.
Right.
All right, what's your question?
How do you do so that the ringing does not sound? So I do not hear the ring on Lumadi's calls.
Yeah, we couldn't hear yours either.
Yeah, but mine was on, like I was doing this, and then when he answered, I put him on speaker, but you know, I was
I think mine was probably a little far. Okay. So
yeah,
should I try that one? Do a daily follow-up on that one? They didn't
What
answer.
happened? What happened with that? Yes. So you're going to follow up with them every day until they do.
Okay. Righty. That was good. This was good. This was really helpful. Can we do this all the time?
We can. We can. What I'm going to do is, because I'm up against a bit of a time crunch here, I got to get my daughter in 30 minutes, and it's going to take me 20 minutes to get Amanda through her application so that she can join our brokerage over here. And so yeah, we're gonna call this one a day. Great calls, like good stuff.
Yeah.
We got an appointment set, and Anka, that one, I know he sounded difficult, but I convert a lot of those just through my persistence, continuing with the Monday follow-up calls and all that other stuff. So you worked your way through that one great. You didn't allow him to get under your skin with the determination that he's not going to work with an agent. He's not going to, participate in any fashion with anything you have to say. And you have as good a shot as anybody to convert him, 25, 30, 40 days down the road. So,
okay.
Any
double
questions,
booked
ladies?
my Monday like a card. I didn't even check my calendar. I was like Monday at 4, but I already have something going on Monday at 4. So
Gotcha. Is it another real estate
that's
appointment
her.
or no?
No, it's a training that it's a live training that I had paid for like a month ago.
Gotcha.
So definitely don't want to miss it, but I'll ask her if maybe I can do like 5:30.
Okay. Yeah.
Even though that makes me look bad, but it's okay.
Right. Well, you're a mom, so you could always say, didn't realize I had an appointment at 4:00 with my daughter when we spoke. Would it be possible for me to come by and meet you at 5:30? Right. And most of the time people
Well, I'm
are
not a mom, but maybe I could,
pretty
maybe
agreeable.
I'll come up with something.
Something. Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, thank you, Shane. I appreciate you jumping on here. That helped alleviate some fear and just
It
make
really
me
did.
feel more encouraged.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you
Thank
guys
you
can
very
do
much.
this like every day. You can sit on here and make these appointments every single day and get busier than you could possibly stand. It's just that easy.
Yeah, I really liked it. And I think doing this helps me. Like you said, it boosts my confidence, helps me a lot.
Awesome.
And
Awesome.
Anka, I already hear improvement from you calling in the main room to calling in here.
Oh, wow. Thank
Well,
you.
the pressure is on.
How should we do this, Shane? Should the three of us move in another room? So
If you can.
we can.
Yeah, that's
How
fine.
about moving to room number, I don't know, choose breakout room.
Let's do 5.
Let's do 5. Okay. All right.
Okay.
Thank you, Shane.
All right,
Thank you,
ladies.
Shane.
Good job.
Have a
Bye.
good weekend.
All righty, you too.
Let's move on. Okay. You said 5, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
she said 5.
Okay.
All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed that. Those are 3 newer to cold calling agents that wanted some, personal coaching to get through these calls and to set appointments. And you got to see an appointment get set live from an agent that was hyper nervous to even get on the phones. This stuff is totally, you guys can do this just like these ladies can do this. So I will see you on the next one. And I enjoy putting these things out. Reach out if you want to come in and join us here in the Zoom room. You can make these calls with me. And if you have any interest in looking at what partnering with us on a deeper level looks like, comment below and we'll have that discussion as well. Until the next one, y'all have a fantastic day.